I just want to preface this video by saying this is not scripted. This video is coming from the heart. This video is coming from my own personal experiences as a community member, as a challenge runner, and as a enjoyer of Dark Souls a lot. I adore the Souls series with all my heart, and this video is coming from that enjoyment. This is also going to be mostly based on a casual experience. No challenge running, no speed running, and this is just for the casual audience mostly. I will be discussing the challenge run community, but mostly this is going to be, like I said, for casual experiences, especially your first time. This video is also based on another video I saw about Dark Souls and mental health. I will put the video up right now and put it in the description, so please go check out that video as it is probably much better than this one. So what is Dark Souls and why does it have an effect on a lot of people's mental health? Well, Dark Souls is an action RPG game, which is notoriously difficult, especially for a first timer. A lot of people can't finish Dark Souls, and a lot of people won't finish Dark Souls, but it's not for the reason you're thinking, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Dark Souls is a game that doesn't hold your hand at all. It will kick you down, and it will make you work for what you want. But working for that is one of the best aspects of the game, and why it also helps with mental health. You cannot take an easy way out in Dark Souls. Yes, you could level up, you can do all this stuff to make it easier, but you're still going to have that fundamental understanding of a boss, and you're still going to have that fundamental skill to overcome a boss. You cannot take an easy way out. Some bosses aren't skippable. And for those who don't take the easy way out, for those who face the challenges head on, you have a real difficult experience ahead of you for your first time. But it's one that's very rewarding. And that's what plays into the mental health part. Dark Souls, for a lot of people, including myself, has been a teaching moment and has taught us how to overcome those difficulties in our own lives. Without Dark Souls, I wouldn't have started learning arts and continuing arts because I thought I didn't have it in me. I thought I was too weak. But then I looked at Dark Souls. I looked at how I played Dark Souls, and I realized, yes, I am too weak, but not forever. If you keep throwing yourself at something, if you keep being persistent, you can overcome those difficulties. And Dark Souls was a teaching moment for me. And for a lot of other people. And it may sound silly. Other games do that. Other games can teach you to overcome obstacles. But Dark Souls really, really takes that to a new level. It doesn't hold your hand at all. You overcome the obstacles. You don't overcome some small barriers. You overcome big obstacles. Challenges that first seem impossible and way out of your league, you can do eventually. Dark Souls isn't for everyone though. Some people cannot beat Dark Souls and will never beat Dark Souls. I've seen many people in the community quit their challenge runs or quit their first playthrough because they don't want to. It's not the game. The game isn't too difficult. It's yourself. You cannot overcome the obstacles, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you need to work up to those things, and Dark Souls can be a big step. If you're a first-time gamer or someone who hasn't played action RPGs, Dark Souls is a big step. Sometimes people aren't ready for that, and that's okay. That is completely fine. But just know, eventually, coming back to Dark Souls, when you have built up that mental fortitude and mental strength to persist and get better, Dark Souls will be waiting. And you can do it. Anyone can. Anyone can beat Dark Souls. Anyone can beat Dark Souls using anything. People are beating Dark Souls using a dance pad. It is that mental fortitude and mental ability to overcome those obstacles that are holding you back. Now, what about the community surrounding Dark Souls? It's strange. I'm going to be mainly focusing on the Dark Souls server and the sister servers around it. But if you come into the Dark Souls community, you might find stuff you don't expect. The community can at times feel very hostile. Some people can be very hostile. And there's a large neglect for that, A, mental health, and B, caring and understanding of others and their ability to beat the games. People will just tell you to get good, or people will tell you that the games are insanely easy, but they aren't for a first timer. But the community is also beautiful in many, many ways. There are many community members, which I will shout out in a few minutes here, who have truly helped me learn what it's like to be in the Dark Souls community, and has also helped me learn what a Dark Souls player and pillar of the community should be like. And a lot of them have helped me with my mental health. A lot of them have helped me feel better, continue my art career, and push me to strive to be a better person. But it's overcoming that initial barrier of those people who lurk in the community and be hostile towards people. It's one of those barriers that you have to overcome to find that community. Now, I just want to give a quick shout out to a few people in particular who have helped me from the community with many different things. I want to shout out Penumbra, Subsist, Breadman, Chumbert, Dorian, Vix, ASAP, Grafted, and a lot more. There's a lot of people in the community. If you decide to join, you will find are good people. I'm in the community all the time. If you decide to join Dark Souls Discord, you will find me there. I will be talking, and I love helping new people because I understand what a first time experience is like. I understand how important it is to yourself to overcome that first time experience. How does this all tie into mental health? Overcoming Dark Souls, overcoming the community, overcoming all the barriers mentally strengthens you in a way that you are not ready for usually. It leaves you with a everlasting joy, everlasting sense of accomplishment, an everlasting sense of love for these games. You will not find an experience like that anywhere else in the gaming world. You will find similar things, but nothing as concrete as Dark Souls. For how flawed and incomplete the games are, they still have that fundamental aspect of overcoming huge, ginormous, monstrous obstacles that seem impossible at first, but it teaches you, keep going, don't give up. There is always a hope. There's always a way to overcome the obstacles as long as you have that mental persistence and want to succeed. You can succeed. Now, I want to keep this video short, and I'm almost at 10 minutes of recording here. But I also want to talk about challenge running a little bit. challenge running is a step above that mental fortitude. That when you challenge run, you're playing the game non-intended. The games aren't intended to be played at SL1 or BL4 or RL1. They aren't intended to be beaten hitless or without rolling. But overcoming those obstacles are another way I have found myself in mental health. I have overcome my own difficulties with mental health using those obstacles that I found on my screen in my everyday life. It sounds silly, and it is a bit silly, yes, but it's true. It's really true. It is a way to overcome your mental obstacles and mental health issues. Dark Souls can help you. It may not help everyone. Some people are completely immune or choose to ignore this. But you can overcome those obstacles. And Dark Souls teaches you that. Dark Souls' fundamental point is to teach you that. It may not be to teach you that, to use that in your everyday life, but it's there to teach you to use that in the game, and that helps teach you in your everyday life to use it. Dark Souls is an important game to me, to many people, to the gaming world itself. It's helped shape dozens upon dozens of games, hundreds even, and it is a experience that you should have. You should delve into the lore, you should delve into the community, maybe even try challenge running. You should beat Dark Souls, not for anyone else, but for yourself. Love yourself, and happy Halloween. Thank you.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.